Facing stringent criticism over its brutal crackdown in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, Pakistan desperately trying to divert global attention after a relative lull in attacks. Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir's forces launched fresh airstrikes on Afghanistan. As per the Afghan government spokesman, Pakistan violated its airspace and bombed homes in the border provinces of Khost and Kunar, and this resulted in the death of 13 civilians, including 11 children, 1 woman, and an elderly man. At least 14 others were injured in Pakistan's attack, terming this, quote-unquote, a crime. He strongly condemned this act of aggression. Visuals, in fact, showed a spate of destruction, distraught people seen looking for items in the rubble and transporting the final remains of those who were killed in the strikes. In fact, they voiced their anger against Pakistan's barbarity, as they called it.
They attack during the middle of the night and kill innocent civilians. Is this war? Where is the International Criminal Court or the United Nations, who so-called defend human rights? Did they ask about the hundreds who were martyred before?
On the other hand, Pakistan's information minister claimed 26 fighters of the Tehreek-e-Taliban, TTP, were eliminated in what he described as precise and calibrated strikes on the border areas in Afghanistan. He also said that 4 targets, including a training center and hideout, were destroyed. But he remained silent on civilian casualties in Afghanistan. And while both sides agreed to a ceasefire in October 2025, the truce ended in February this year after Pakistan conducted airstrikes on alleged TTP camps in Afghanistan's Nangarhar and another province. However, Taliban said that 18 civilians were killed in the attack. Subsequently, Afghan forces fired at Pakistan military posts and claimed to have killed 55 soldiers. Islamabad responded by bombing Kabul and Kandahar. In March, Taliban accused Pakistan of bombing Kabul's Omar Addiction Treatment Hospital, resulting in the deaths of at least 400 persons. While the fighting temporarily paused during Eid, Pakistan resumed the operations. Thereafter, the situation changed in April, in fact, as China entered the fray. Both sides commenced peace talks at the start of April and held week-long discussions. In April end, Kabul accused Islamabad of targeting the Sayyid Jamaluddin Afghani University in Kunar province, resulting in the killing of 7 civilians. And as per a UN report, 372 Afghan civilians were killed, 397 others were injured because of Pakistan's attacks in the first 3 months of 2026 alone. This coming at a juncture when Munir's forces have opened fire and tear gas at protesters belonging to the Joint Awami Action Committee, JAAC, across PoK, resulting in the deaths of at least 14 people, while nearly 70 people have been injured. A day earlier, scores of people defied the pressure and hit the streets as part of a shutdown strike. Amid this, Pakistani authorities launched a search operation for 4 JAAC protesters and announced a bounty of over $35,860 in this connection. Protests are still raging. A large number of people, a convoy of cars gathered in the area of Poonch, which has been illegally occupied by Pakistan. Locals continue to stand firm on their support for this civil society group, which is demanding abolition of 12 seats occupied by the Pakistanis in the so-called Legislative Assembly. Listen to this.
ये एक बड़ा मुहज़्ज़ब पुरअमन डिसेंट अंदाज का एहतजाज है, कानून के दायरे के अंदर रहते हुए, आइन के दायरे के अंदर रहते हुए एहतजाज है, मुस्तरद कर रहा है हुकूमत के बयानी को कि ये लोग दहशतगर्द हैं, ये लोग पुरअमन हैं। दहशतगर्द जो है वो हुकूमत है जो जबर के ज़रिए, ताकत के ज़रिए इस पुरअमन सदा को दबाने की कोशिश करती है।
Outrage over the atrocities by Asim Munir's forces continuing in the UK as well. Members of the Kashmiri diaspora gathered in Manchester to hold a funeral prayer in absentia for people killed in PoK. Subsequently, they marched to the Pakistani consulate to demand an independent probe into the killings. With Asim Munir igniting a new war front, it seems, even as his forces continue to commit atrocities on the people, all eyes are on how the Taliban will respond this time around.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.